Kyrenia Animal Rescue in Kyrenia, Cyprus. Kyrenia Animal Rescue is located in Kyrenia. The first Kyrenia Animal Rescue, we mentioned K.A.U. in our video, center was on a plot of land in Karaoglanoglu that is now covered by the sprawl of G.A.U. It was a compound surrounded by a breeze block wall. There were recycled pallets for the dogs to lie on, and when the rains came, makeshift kennels were constructed from old boxes with polythene draped across the top to keep the worst of the weather at bay. The inhabitants at that time numbered no more than a dozen, including a bitch with puppies. However, it was not long before word got round that there were caring people who would look after strays and take responsibility for those dogs that were deemed no longer desirable or useful, and were generally the victims of their owners' callous neglect. There are currently over 200 dogs and 60 cats at the rescue center. The cats live like lords in a specially built cattery that was made possible by the very generous bequest of G.A.U. Throughout her time in North Cyprus, she was a staunch support the car and all the beneficial work it carries out for the sick and suffering animals that are in their care. The work never stops, and the number of animals needing treatment is ever on the increase. Without the selfless dedication of a large team that is made up of mostly volunteers, the K.A.U. could never care for, and treat the huge number of animals that come to them every year. Handymen, carpenters, plumbers etc. give much of their free time every week to carry out running repairs on kennels, fences, fixing broken doors, walls, and leaking pipes. Wash down the kennels and the pens, groom and trim the long-haired dogs, and hand out a lot of TLC to animals that have been abandoned and neglected through no fault of their own, but simply because they have become a nuisance or an unaffordable burden. There are the cat catchers who have the sometimes unenviable job of trapping feral cats in all kinds of locations and then getting them to the vet for spaying and neutering. They are frequently to be seen loitering with intent in the grounds of hotels and holiday villages as they stalk their next patient. They do a wonderful job, risking life, limb and spitting savagery as they gently coax a recalcitrant female into the crush box and whisk her away for her own good. Here is a frightening statistic. Realistically, one female cat can have 18 kittens in her first year, and in 5 years, if all her offspring procreate, she may well have 20,000 descendants. The neuter, tag and return policy is not unique to North Cyprus. It is carried out in other countries of Europe and is a general success. Once a dog has been neutered and no longer a breeding liability, it is far more likely to be given a home in the local community. Many a tagged dog has been adopted because the new owners know that there is no risk of unwanted puppies coming along, and even if the animal does not find a permanent home, many of them end up on the periphery of restaurants where the food is good and they become a part of the landscape. The red ear tags signify that they have been neutered and they are treated with less disdain than mere scavengers. They are also detected, wormed and checked on a regular basis. When an animal is abandoned because the original owner can no longer afford its upkeep, the feeding bill falls on the stretched financial resources of the K.A.U. and in order to continue catering for the welfare of the animals that need to be treated and cared for, a large number of money-raising activities are held every year. These vary from bingo and quiz nights, always tremendously popular with K.A.U. supporters. The participants have great fun and the dogs and cats are grateful. There are fashion shows, bazaars, coffee mornings, flower walks and the K.A.U. shop. To be found on the junction between the fire station and the Kyrenia Tavern, this was one of the first charity shops to be started in Kyrenia, and from the moment it opened it has proved an enormous success, providing a very substantial portion of the K.A.U. budget. It is hugely popular with the local Cypriots who love to get their hands on a bargain piece of haute couture at a knockdown price. It sells everything that is donated, whether it is books, DVDs, bric-a-brac, clothing, shoes, household appliances etc. Nothing is turned down, and if it is winter or summer clothing it is stored until the right season, or very special pieces may be stored for the Christmas bazaar. There is no doubt that just about every item that finds its way to the K.A.U. shop will sooner or later find a new home. The dog show, usually held in April, started small a few years ago and was looked on by dog-owning Cypriots as a bit of an oddity. They had never seen such an entertainment before, and it took a little while and a lot of encouragement to get them to bring their dogs along and enjoy showing off to the crowd. They very soon fell for the idea and now proudly display their pets and enjoy the competition to carry home a much coveted prize. Now held on the open market ground, the dog show has 2 covered rings to cater for both pedigree and novelty classes, and the pedigree classes have the distinction of being judged by a UK Kennel Club judge. Over the years the dog show support has grown beyond expectations, and long may it and its competitors continue to show off the very best of dog care in North Cyprus. There is a new program for education in schools where children can be given information and advice on basic animal care. It is hoped that this will develop an attitude towards animals that is devoid of fear and superstition, and that it will create a new generation of responsible animal lovers among the local community. Like us and join us at Extreme Collections for more fun and knowledge.